So we're down to the wires, less than a week before Election Day, and more people are speaking out now. And honestly, I wish they did a lot sooner than they are doing it, but I'm not even going to lie. I'm just happy that it's happening because I really have, as each day goes by and Trump continues to deteriorate, continue to show his racism through and through, that Kamala has more and more chances of winning, although I still find it so crazy that the race is allegedly, because I won't even say I believe all of the polls, so I will say allegedly close. It's crazy that it's close. But even if the polls weren't showing that it's close, because I don't believe the polls, I would still encourage people to go out and vote. And I would find it so amazing if the reason that he did lose was because Puerto Ricans tossed him just like he was tossing those rolls of paper towels at them after Hurricane Maria devastated the island. Puerto Ricans are Americans. And as much as they may not like it, that's what it is. And people, there may be some racist blood and there may still be some racist people that are still existing here in this country. Yes, we know this. But the majority of the people, the majority, are not that way. Now, I won't say that people don't have their prejudices, they don't have their beliefs, their stereotypes, their preferences. I won't say that doesn't exist by a large vast of people, because prejudice exists in every ethnicity, okay? But everyone can't be racist. Only those who have been in this country that, let's just be honest, stole it, who have had the power, who have been doing the things that they have been doing for centuries, that is the only ethnicity, the only group that can be racist. So when they try to say that, oh, black people are racist, no, they're not racist. There may be some prejudices, absolutely, but racist, no, because we don't have that power. We don't have that power. And it really just makes me angry when I hear these people who claim that this country was found on Christian values and Judeo-Christian. And a lot of people who say Judeo-Christian, they don't even know what that means. But how could this country have been founded on Christian values when it was created, quote unquote, the way that it was? Because the country existed. It may not have existed the way that it is today, but it was already inhabited. This was not some barren, just non-inhabited grounds that they like to give Christopher Columbus the credit for finding. It's not true. It was taken. There was bloodshed. There was just so much that I'm not going to speak on right now. But this is not a Christian nation. It was not founded on Christianity. It wasn't founded on any other religion. In actuality, this is what they say now. It was supposed to have been about religious freedom. So whatever religion someone chooses, that's what it was supposed to be about. So when I hear these people who claim that they're Christian and this is the Christians' duty to vote for Donald Trump, you're a liar. God has nothing to do with this election. You can pray. I'm not saying people can't pray for what they desire to happen and whatnot, but to say that God is the God of America, God created the world. Like, are you kidding me? Do you really think that God is just more concerned about what goes on in America than he is concerned about what happens in the Congo, in Sierra Leone, in any other country, Istanbul? Just naming, are you really saying that God is more concerned about what happens in America than he's concerned about what happens in Turkey, in Iran? Like, seriously, God created the world, the entire world, and it's not even just the planet Earth. So when I hear people that just try to limit God to the election of the United States of America, that just really goes to show how little they think of God, in my personal opinion. And so when I see these people talking about, well, my Christian values just won't allow me to vote for Kamala, you don't even know what you're talking about. You don't even know what you're talking about. And as much as they may not like it, I'm not going to use the word, but the A word, that was something that had been in law for over 50 years. And as much as they may not agree with it, it is a medical procedure. So you mean to tell me that it's okay for man to put someone to death because they committed a crime, or maybe they didn't, because we know that the judicial system is corrupt, and there are a whole lot of people who are behind bars and even on death row who claim that they did not do what they did, and they actually may be telling the truth. But you're just going to say, well, eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. But when it comes to a woman and a medical decision, and now they're saying these lies about things that don't even happen. They're saying that women are giving birth, and then they're just deciding, no, I don't like the color of the baby's eyes, I don't want it, and then they're just getting rid of the baby in the hospital, and that is an A word. That does not happen anywhere in this country. Now, I can't speak about other countries. That stuff might be happening in other parts of the world. I don't know. But that's how crazy it is that they say things like that happen when it doesn't happen. But if a woman has a miscarriage, you're saying that that's God's will? Or if a child is born and it has all of these disabilities, that's God's will? But it's not okay with God for a woman to have a medical procedure that may save their life, or let's just be honest, that it may be a time in their life where they are not ready to have children. Financially, they are not able to do it. And it's not just what they want to call loose women or women that are just sleeping with any and everybody. There are a lot of married women that have had these medical procedures. And let's be clear. Do you know that there are more men that want that procedure to be had than women do? Do you know how many times in life there has been a woman or young woman who found out that she was pregnant, and as soon as they told the guy was like, so what are you going to do about it? And the woman's like, I don't know. They just act like women want to do that. Like women are just all hyped up to go and get that procedure done. Most women don't want to do that, but it is a medical procedure. But it is more men that hype it up, that want it to be done, that provoke, coerce, threaten the women to get that procedure done because they don't want to have to pay child support. They don't want a child. They ain't ready. More men have paid for that procedure to be done. More men want the procedure done than women do. There have been a lot of situations that have happened where a man even thought that the woman agreed to do it, and then she's further along, and then he gets upset and she's like, no, I just decided to keep it. I don't want to do that again. So they just make it seem like this procedure, because it is a medical procedure, whether they like it or not, it is something that women just want to do. But If a woman has a miscarriage, then that's God's will. That's okay. But then there are also these radical Republicans who feel that that is something that should not be able to be handled medically. And we know that there have been women who have had complications and unfortunately lost the baby. And now, because of the way some states have rolled things back, they haven't been able to get the care that they need. So they've had to leave the state to go to another state. Some weren't able to do it in time and lost their lives. But they're just so hell-bent on, well, you know, my Christian beliefs and my Christian values just won't. It's like, it's insane that they're so concerned about what other people have a choice to do with their lives that they're going to have to answer for. Because listen, everybody has to take account for their own lives. And so you want to say, well, that's a child and we have to save it. But when the child is here, if something happens and they can get convicted and maybe they didn't do it and they get sentenced to the death penalty, you're okay with that. You're okay with taking someone's life when they're an adult, but you're not okay with a situation that happens medically where now is just not a good time, or whatever the case may be when it comes to in uterine. So an in uterine human, you're not okay with ending, but an out of uterine human, you're okay with ending. It's insane to me. I never will understand that as long as I live. I never will understand that. And you know, those racists at that racist Klan rally, that it's so funny. I call the MSG rally, and now I see a lot of other people calling it the MSG rally. But yeah, that Klan rally that Trump had last weekend. Do you know the majority of those people there call themselves Christians? So you identify with that? You identify with that. It's crazy to me. But yeah, they do. Donald Trump has been found liable of sexual abuse. He was sentenced, I should say, even though this was civil court, sentenced to pay $5 million to E. Jean Carroll, and he defamed her. So it's like, it's okay to be a liar, because that's all Donald Trump does is lie. And it's okay for him to say, you know, when you're a star, you can do whatever you want. Grab him by the meow. And they're okay with that. You never hear them talking about any of those things. And if anyone asks any of them about it, they'll say, oh, well, you know, God forgives. Okay, but if you believe that a medical procedure that has been in law for over 50 years is a sin, isn't that person between that person and their God to answer for? And if they can say that Donald Trump, he could repent. The man has said that he has never asked for forgiveness. He even said that he's not a Christian, but he wants the Christians to vote for him. And they stupidly do. They stupidly believe that he is the one that God chose to be the leader of this country. This man is a fraud. This man is a fraud. God is supposed to be about truth, I thought. But they're okay with having a liar be the leader. I'll never get that as long as I live. When I see these people creating content talking about the way Christians need to vote and whatever, I don't watch a lot of the garbage when they spew it because I just can't take it. But just to see that, and they're still trying to convince Christians that this is the way that they're supposed to vote. I don't hear any of these people saying these things like this, like to this extent, for any of the other people that were running before. And I hear this around the time that John McCain was running for office against President Obama. Now, I know that there were a few people that were like, oh, I don't trust him. I think he's a Muslim or whatever. And even John McCain shut that down, if you remember that. I didn't hear any of this stuff around the time that Mitt Romney was running against Obama when Obama was running for the second time. I didn't hear any of these things prior to when George Bush was running. Like, I didn't hear any of these things. And now it's like to the 1000th power that people are spewing this mess about the way Christians need to vote. I'll just never understand it. But it's the hypocrisy. It's so much hypocrisy. Everything that Donald Trump says, for the most part, is either a lie or it is deflection. So when he says the things that he says about Kamala, he's really talking about himself. But it's okay as long as he gets in office so that he can put laws that are going to be withstanding with their Christian morals and their Christian values. But this is not a Christian nation. This is not a country that is supposed to be ruled by a religion. There is a law regarding separation of church and state, and the Bible even says that you're to obey the laws of the land. So that actually means that the laws of the land may not be in line and in tune with what the Bible says, but as long as you're here, you are to abide by those laws and those rules. Now, if you don't believe in that medical procedure, you don't do it for yourself, but to force your beliefs on other people, that's actually against what the laws of the land were supposed to be. So when I hear people speak about this stuff, I just roll my eyes and I just keep it moving, because I'm never going to get in an argument with anyone when it comes to that type of stuff. But I will never understand the hypocrisy of these people who talk about Donald Trump is the chosen one and God is, placing him in this space and whatever, when all he has done is lie. All he has done is be crooked, be fraudulent, spread lies, spread hate. On top of everything, hate, when God is love. But all he does is spread hate and hatred. But all y'all care about is saving the life of an in utero. But if you're out here in these United States streets, it's every man for himself, and you better get it how you live. I just will never understand that. I just wanted to share my thoughts on this stuff, and I'm not going to go too deep into it, but I would love to know what you guys think. So let me know your thoughts in the comments.